everyone, I'm Maki. Today, let's check out the new merchandise from the GUNDAM SEED series. Furthermore, we'll share a comment from director Mitsuo Fukuda. Many new products were announced, but the one receiving the most attention is probably the Meteor for Metal Build. Metal Build is a series that focuses on making figures look as cool as possible through their design and features. Unlike the Robot Spirit series, it has its own distinct characteristics rather than aiming to recreate the characters' exact appearances from the story. The Meteor has the unique personality of Metal Build and features a powerful and impressive design. When Fukuda learned that the Meteor was being made into a product, he shared his thoughts on it. So, how did the Meteor come to appear in the story? Let's take a look together. Please consider supporting my channel by becoming a member for just 99 cents per month. As a thank you, you'll receive a name badge and comment stamps. Now, let's get started. Reservations for the Metal Build Meteor began in Japan on 27 July. The time between the product announcement and the start of reservations was very short indeed, and Fukuda also seemed surprised. First, let me share his thoughts on learning about the product announcement and the start of reservations. When I heard that the Meteor was going to be made into a product, I was surprised by just how huge it was going to be. The price was surprising too, and it has already sold out. The Metal Build Meteor is extremely large. Its basic size is approximately 705 millimeters. It is also 180 millimeters wide. When the arms on both sides are deployed and the beam saws are equipped, it becomes an impressive 1,200 millimeters. The specifications have been standardized so that it can be combined with other Metal Build products from the SEED series. It really is enormous. The price is approximately $545. Please bear in mind that this price may vary significantly depending on exchange rates and shipping costs. That is quite expensive for a toy. You could also buy a home appliance, such as a washing machine or refrigerator, for that price. Reservations opened on the night of 27 July. The Meteor sold out within just a few minutes of reservations opening. Since it is expensive and so large, perhaps only a limited number were produced. It's easy to see why Fukuda was surprised. Following the news that the Meteor had sold out, Fukuda released another statement. This time, he explained how the Meteor came to appear in the story. Let's take a look at it together. The inspiration for the Meteor came from the Gundam GP03 Denrabium that appeared in 0083. At the time, the Denrabium Gun Pro model was performing extremely well commercially. Bandai therefore suggested introducing a large mobile weapon into the story. The protagonists fight both Soft and the Earth Alliance. I thought it would be impossible for a small number of mobile suits to fight both armies. Therefore, I came up with the idea of creating a large armed suit that Freedom and Justice could wear. It was also important to consider the financial burden on those buying it. I therefore asked the designer Mr. Kunio Okawara to make the equipment as small as possible. The Meteor also docks with the battleship Eternal. I also asked Okawara to design the Eternal. That is how the Meteor came to be. Many Gundam fans predicted that it was probably inspired by the Denrabium. Fukuda has now confirmed that this was indeed the case. However, it is also worth noting that they did not just copy the dendrobium, they combined it with their own original ideas. Although the meteor is huge, it is visually simpler than the dendrobium. It gives the impression that the mobile suit is using additional equipment. Above all, it is a way of adding equipment. In contrast with the dendrobium, the mobile suit is completely enclosed inside it. In practice, this is almost like transforming into a mobile armor. This difference stems from Fukuda's concept of an armed suit. As for the financial burden, it is perhaps best not to think about that too much. Had the meteor used a format like the dendrobium, where the entire mobile suit is enclosed and takes on the appearance of a mobile armor, it would have been even more expensive. Incidentally, when you had the term armed suit in relation to a mobile suit, did it remind you of anything? That's right! The Zeus silhouette. This weapon has parts that resemble shoes attached to the legs. While it has not been explicitly stated, it is probably fair to interpret this as inheriting the armed suit concept. Zeus silhouette is also expected to appear in Freedom Zero. The bold new challenge, represented by the dendrobium, led to the meteor, and this DNA was then passed down to the Zeus silhouette, making the story even more exciting. This really makes you appreciate the history behind it. Now, let's take a look at some of the new products, starting with the Metal Robot Spirit series. The Zugak and the Cavalier Ifrit have been announced. As I mentioned earlier, the Robot Spirit series aims to recreate the characters' appearances as seen in the story. The Metal Robot Spirit series uses metal parts to make the product feel more premium. It's just a guess, but I don't think the Zugak will be able to contain the Infinite Justice Gundam Type 2. The Zugak is approximately $130. The Cavalier Ifrit is approximately $115. Reservation start dates for both are still to be confirmed, but they are scheduled to ship in December. Next is the Metal Robot Spirit's Destiny Gundam Spec 2. This one has been given the name Final Battle Version. It seems that the price and reservation start date have not yet been decided. If you want to recreate the final battle, you will need to purchase multiple units. That is going to be a difficult challenge. Finally, there is the SH Full Arts figure of the protagonist, Kira Yamato. SH stands for simple style and heroic action. This product is characterized by its emphasis on articulation. The price and reservation start date have not yet been announced. Also, although it is still under development and unclear whether it will be released, photos of a Cavalier as her figure have been revealed. She will be appearing in Seed Freedom. Since she has taken off half of her pilot suit, the figure is probably intended to recreate the scene after the final battle. As it is still in development, all information such as the price is currently unknown. As expected, the massive media product is attracting a lot of attention. If you want to recreate scenes from the story, you face the extremely difficult challenge of buying 2 of them. Thank you for watching until the end. I'll see you again in the next episode.